And he said, God told me to kill you. And then he slashed my throat, almost over and back, ear to ear, twice. I try to exercise 6 days a week. It was a Saturday morning, and I was coming home from the Y. My neighbor, Tom, caught up with me on the sidewalk, and he said, I need to talk to you about some things. And I thought, well, seeing as how it's February, winter, a little chilly, rather than to talk outside, come on upstairs. He is 20 years younger than me, so he, at the time, was 34. So I brought him upstairs, and when he got up there, he looked at a number of pictures on my wall, blow-ups of vacation pictures. And he said, what are these? And I explained them to him one by one. And then it was kind of odd. He didn't say anything. And I thought, that's kind of strange, because his reason for coming up here was to talk to me about something. He's not talking. Something's wrong. For a few more seconds, he stood there and did nothing, and then I noticed out of the corner of my eye that he reached into his coat pocket and he pulled out a utility knife. He snipped my phone cord and then slammed me up against the wall with his arm under my chin, and he said, God told me to kill you. And then he put his arm under my chin and slammed me up against the wall. And then he jerked his arm a few times till my nose was pointed straight up in the air and the skin on my neck was pretty tight. And then he slashed my throat, almost over and back, ear to ear, twice. He said during the attack, today's the day you die. And then a little later he said, I'm going to stand here and watch you die. After he did this, of course, suddenly I was bleeding very profusely, and my thought was, Tom, what are you doing? That was the only thing that I could think of to say. He said, I need $200. I said, Tom, I don't carry $200 with me. Well, you have a checkbook, he said, right? Yes. Go get it. So I went and got the checkbook. I wrote the check for $200, brought it out to him. He looked at it and he goes, oh man, you got blood all over it. He knew he wouldn't be able to cash it. He didn't get angry. It was that same demeanor that I had seen with him before, no smiles, real serious. It was just, this is what I need to do today. I had my arms out like this, and my hand drifted across the tea kettle on my stove. I picked that up and hit him as hard as I could, right about in here. He never even flinched. He never felt it. At this point, I was wondering, what is wrong with this guy? He should be out cold. I don't remember feeling angry toward him. I remember feeling very confused. I couldn't understand what was bringing my neighbor to do this to me. I had really covered the floor with my blood, and I, at one point, slipped in my own blood on the linoleum floor and then fell on my hands and knees. And that's when he took the knife and slashed down in the lower part of my back and across my left kidney. He had just told me, maybe less than a minute before, I'm gonna stand here and watch you die. And it was like I heard myself saying, you get out of here. And without another word, this guy that had just told me he was gonna watch me die very quietly walked down the steps and out the door. And I was amazed. I thought, I might be living through this after all. When I heard the door shut, I got up and thought, what do I do now? I can't call the hospital because he snipped my phone cord. I don't have a cell phone. I guess I'll have to drive to the hospital. The thought popped into my head, I need to let the police know who this is that did this to me so that in case they find me dead, they'll know who to arrest. My intention was to write, Tom Roach did this. But when I got done writing Tom Roach, I was starting to feel woozy. So I thought I'd better just leave it and get to the car as quick as I can. So I leaned against the wall and kind of stumbled down the steps and out to my car. I was wondering where Tom was. Was he going to run up beside me, throw the door open? I didn't know. I didn't have any idea where he was. During the attack, my glasses had been knocked off, so my vision was bad anyway. But it was made much worse, I guess because of the significant amount of blood I had lost. I could not see the stoplight. It was like I was driving through a very thick fog. Finally, I honestly thought that I saw the light change to green. So I drove across and ended up in the circle drive of the hospital. At that time of the morning, on Saturday, the door is locked. But the amazing thing was, a security guard jumped out of his van and said, "Hey, you can't park there." When I got out of the car, he saw my blood-soaked shirt. And that's when I said, "Can you help me?" And he leaned me over the hood of my car and applied pressure to a gusher in my neck. I ended up with 118 staples and 53 stitches. I was later told by a doctor friend that in the slash across my throat, he missed my jugular vein by less than an inch. The same thing happened. He attacked him, demanded money. The thing is, I survived. This other man died. And the doctors gave my level of fitness, probably from being a member of the Y and using it 5 or 6 times a week, for having a very good heart, which kept me conscious long enough to get to the hospital. Otherwise, I probably would have passed out and bled to death.